Stress is an element which automatically appears after our childhood and then it stays with us all the time. Since it'll be around us all the time, we just have to find a way to live with it. Hey everyone, I'm Andrew, currently a computer science with AI student in University of Nottingham, and on this channel, we explore ways to improve our work, our life, and ourselves in general. Today, I'd like to talk about how I handle stress and overcome them. Stress is our reaction to mental or emotional pressure. However, this kind of pressure can come from anywhere. It can be from work, from your studies, from family, or even from relationship. So for sure, if we know we don't want to get any kind of stress, we just have to stop doing anything that's related to all this kind of stuff. But we all know that this is impossible. That's why we need a way to handle or overcome that. And now I'll start with how do I handle my stress? Exercising is actually a good way to release stress because when you exercise, your body actually releases all the stress hormones like cortisol or adrenaline. Of course, these are just facts. We have no idea how our biology in our body actually works, but personally, I do feel a lot more relief after exercising when I have stress. It can be a simple gym workout or even a run or even just a yoga. It depends on whatever you like. The main thing here is whatever you like. You don't want to just do something that you don't like, do some sports that you dislike, and then you become even more stressed. But of course, I personally think that if that workout actually brings out some sweat, I think it works better. Sometimes, all this stress are actually negative thoughts in our head. Just like joy, when you're happy, you want to share your joy to others. When you're sad or when you're stressed, you want to talk to someone else about it as well. But sometimes you try to bring this negativity to others. That's why we can use another way, which is journaling. Try to write it down. You can spend hours if you want. Just write down all the negative thoughts you have in your mind. And then you find out it actually works. After this, your mind will clear out and then you're more relieved right now. Many people don't know that the environment that you're in actually plays a role in stress as well. Our brain tends to associate things together, so we are able to associate stress with the location that we're in as well. Just like me in this room, I work in this room, I sleep in this room, and sometimes I just get so stressed in this room because I have so many stress moments over here, so I just associate this place with it. And whenever I feel stressed, I actually just go and take a walk outside and then breathe some fresh air, and then it actually makes you feel a lot more alive. But yeah, so sometimes when you're actually stressed, maybe it's time to change your environment or just take a simple walk. You might feel a lot better after that. When you're stressed and you feel like crying, that's actually kind of good. Just cry it all out. Cry out yourself or even with your friend. It actually works because just like how we use exercise and journaling as an output, crying is a kind of output as well. So when you get your tears out, you kind of get your stress out as well. But the main thing here is that because crying, we tend to associate crying with sadness and all this kind of thing, and then some people will stuck themselves in that situation of sadness, which is bad. That's why once you stop crying, you should just get back to work and then not stay in that state of sadness. On to overcoming stress. The first way, and the way that most people don't like hearing, is just to solve them. Yeah, but many people ask me like, oh, okay, so I have this stress, and I have this stress because I just don't know how to solve it. That's the thing, right? But many times, it's not really we don't want to solve it. We actually have the solution right there, just that we don't want to face it. Like there's some consequences behind it or something we dislike about it, that's why we don't want to face it. But the main thing to do it is literally just to solve it. You need to know that if you don't solve it, the stress will just remain there forever. You just have to solve it and then get over it. That's where that stress will be over. When you solve it, that stress will be just gone. Alright, let's say if you really don't know how to solve it. Okay, so now you don't really have a solution to it. A simple way? Find other people who are better at this issue than you. Learn from them. Ask for help from them. And then they will find a solution to help you. Or maybe you just discover a way through talking with them. But the thing, like what I said just now, stress, to relieve stress, to overcome stress is actually just about problem solving. Yeah, once the stress is like kind of the huge problem there, the huge problem that's keep growing, that's why you feel the stress. And then once you find a solution to it, it just disappears. So if you don't know how to solve this stress, overcome this issue, just find someone that is better than you and learn from them. So this way of overcoming stress isn't recommended, but sometimes it's necessary. So what I'm talking about is sometimes to overcome stress, we just have to give up on it. There's just many things in life that we want to do and we want to achieve, but sometimes we have to recognize that we just can't do it all. That's why, depending on how important it is, we will keep the important one, the important stress, and then the less important one, sometimes we just have to give up on it. I believe we don't want to jeopardize on our grand plans just because we can't achieve like this kind of small, simple things, right? That's why. So the last and final way of overcoming stress is reorganizing stress. So this is actually a combination of all the ways we have above, and we put it into one single one. So I'm not sure if you guys have seen this before, but it's this 4-quadrant thing where we plot the importance and urgency. So on one axis, we'll definitely put urgent and not urgent, and on another axis, one side will be important and another side will be not important. And after this, you just put whatever stress you have onto this 4-quadrant thing. And from this thing, you'll be able to see which of your stress are not important and not urgent. Those are the ones that you can just like give up because they are inessential and then they are kind of distracting you from your actual goal. And then those that are really important and urgent, those are something that you should definitely get help from. And for the others, you know, important, not urgent, urgent, not important, okay, that's something that you have to kind of have to figure out which one is more important. Some of them you can just drop it, some of them you should just leave it there and then eventually solve it. This is how, it's just kind of like knowing that we just can't do too much. That's why we just have to know which one we have to give up in order to achieve the ones that we really want. That's it for this video. If you have any tips on stress handling and overcoming, do share it in the comment section below. I'd love to hear about them. But yeah, if you like this video, do like, share and subscribe. Maybe consider checking out my previous video where I actually talk about the virtual banks that I recommend students to apply in the UK. Or maybe consider checking out my podcast, which is called Ink Thoughts Podcast, a podcast created by me and my girlfriend Verene, where we discuss about incongruous thoughts in our daily life. Thanks for watching and hope to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.